we are doing a Facebook Live today on the power of Reiki with CBD. And I am Dr. Bridget Williams from Green Harvest Health, and I am here with Shai White from One Mind Reiki. Thanks for doing this with me, Shai. I'm excited to talk to you.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to be here. This is great stuff.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things that doing these type of meetings allows me the opportunity to talk to people that I always want to spend time with, but with as busy as we are, we never get the opportunity.
Exactly.
So I've been trying to connect with Shai for some time now, and we're just gonna have that opportunity with all of you as well.
Absolutely.
So today we're talking about the power of Reiki with CBD. And I've had some exposure to Reiki, definitely in residency. We did a little bit with it, but this is a booming opportunity and a form of healing that's really happening obviously across the nation, but it's getting bigger in Ohio all the time.
Exactly.
Shai, tell me a little bit about how you got into Reiki.
Well, I burned my hand years ago, at least 20 years ago, and was on my way to a class. And a classmate saw me in pain and asked if she could hold my hand because I was like really beside myself. And she says, just let me hold your hand. And she's talking to me. And I'm telling her, oh my God, it hurts so bad. I think I want to go home. And then all of a sudden I realized that my hand was just tingling a little bit. And when I looked down at my hand, I could see where I burned it, but there was no blistering. It wasn't red as it was before. She said, I just used Reiki on you. I thought, oh, that's interesting. A little while later, I had problems with carpal tunnel. And I've been going back and forth to the doctor, maybe 3 or 4 different visits. And the doctor was getting ready to do muscle testing sort of on the 5th visit. And a friend that worked with me at the Red Cross says, I want to try something on you. Have you ever heard of Reiki? And I said, yeah. She said, well, I'd like to do some Reiki with you. So I walked into her office. She told me what to expect. I closed my eyes, took some deep breaths, and she held my hand for about 10 minutes or so. And she said, okay, go back to your office and I'll check on you later. Well, I had been wearing a hand brace and had my arm in a sling because I really couldn't use it. Right hand, I'm a right-handed person. And when she walked into my office a couple hours later and she said, how are you feeling? I realized that I'd never put the brace back on and I didn't have the sling on. Yeah. No carpal tunnel, no surgery, never went back to the doctor, didn't have a problem. So then that, just totally took everything away. And to make the story shorter, probably 10 years from there, I met a woman who was my yoga instructor. She was a Reiki master and she said, I want to gift you the 1st and 2nd attunement so you can give Reiki to your mom. My mom was suffering from a kidney disease. And that's how I really got started in it. I saw how it worked. I saw it calm my mom down. It helped her to sleep and relax after dialysis, et cetera, et cetera. Someone introduced me to a professor who was teaching the first Reiki class for the state of Ohio as a registered Reiki person. I took the class. 2009, 2011, I became a Reiki master and instructor, and the rest is history. It's just been building on that energy ever since.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so it just came into your life, basically.
It came into my life. I had never heard of Reiki. I'd seen hands-on healing done at church, but never the recipient, never thought too much about it. Don't know necessarily that I believed it. Right. But when it came to me and I saw, especially with pain, I'm not a pain person. So, I mean, she totally took that. If anyone's ever been burned, it's a different type of pain. It stretches your skin and it's the throbbing. And I thought I was going to go crazy. And she took it away in a matter of minutes.
Wow. Very good.
To have the carpal tunnel situations like totally reversed was a different moment. And to this day, I have not suffered with any issues with carpal tunnel, anything with my hands. So
very good. Yes. So how do you, as a traditional physician, and we've talked about this a little bit, you know, I've been a family physician for 20 years, and the way that I went from traditional medicine, which I still practice, but into more of holistic practice with CBD and cannabis is because I really believe that you cannot put all of your tricks, you know, in one place, right?
Exactly.
That it takes a village of modalities to reclaim your wellness. And so whether it's pharmaceuticals or traditional medicine or any, whether it's just cannabis, if you're putting everything into one bag, then you will never really achieve that balance that we're all really seeking, right?
Exactly. I
So
agree.
tell me about, like, for the person that's never heard the word Reiki before, tell me what Reiki is.
So, Reiki is a non-invasive energy modality, and what it does, it helps you to relax, helps you to distress, relieve stress. It can get rid of inflammation. It can get rid of headaches. It can take tension away. It helps lower back pain. If you've hypothetically, the way I look at it is if you are in a car accident and you break your leg, so to speak, I think you should see a doctor. That's an acute moment that you need what I would consider maybe conventional medicine to help you move through. But if you bind your knee, say you've twisted your knee, it's something that maybe an x-ray shows, but you haven't broken the skin, you're not at risk of losing your leg, so to speak, but you're in a lot of pain and discomfort. Reiki helps to remove that inflammation, helps to sort of massage those tendons and give you full flexibility back for your knee and your leg, so to speak. So I would say Reiki is not only non-invasive, but it gives you an opportunity as the recipient to take part in your healing. Because even though I'm administering Reiki to you, I'm pretty much a conduit or a vessel. I'm not the person that's working to help you heal yourself. What I'm doing is standing in so that the energy moves through me and then it moves into you. And then you facilitate that healing on your own. It sounds a little quirky, but if you've had Reiki before, it's just pretty much a laying on of hands. I can physically touch your body, or I don't have to touch you. I can hover over your body, and the heat and energy from my hands penetrates the etheric body of your being.
Very good. Very good. And that's another thing that we're really big about, empowering the patient, right?
Exactly.
That,
Exactly.
we've gotten into a culture where all of the power of your wellness has been taken away from you, and whether it's pharmaceuticals or what have you, but this is an opportunity to empower the patient again and have them have a little bit more control over how they heal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, patients who come to us, and I'm saying us because I have a business partner. The name of my organization is One Mind Reiki. We are energetic wellness practitioners, and we practice Reiki as well as crystal healing and a few other modalities. But one of the things that we do is if you are coming to us fairly often, I say maybe twice a month, eventually what we do is we offer to teach you Reiki 1. Reiki 1 is about self-care. So what that does is, I'm not saying that I don't want your business, but I want to empower you. Absolutely. As a professional trying to help you reach your healing homeostasis or your healing balance. I want to be able to empower you so that you can then take control of how and be able to measure the pain and the progress that you get from using Reiki. So
absolutely. Yeah. It's all about the empowerment, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So kind of talking about that, I'm going to pull up, if I can, some slides, because I'd love for you to get a little bit further into what Reiki looks like and the energy levels that you look into. So let's see if I can do that.
There we go. Good.
All right. You're starting to see something there. I'm trying to see what you're
seeing.
Okay. Wait, I think we are. I see it. Okay. So hopefully you're seeing that. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So tell us about what these energy levels are. Explain what the chakras are.
So the chakras are energy centers. These are centers where energy moves in and out of your body. And what they do is they're tiny little spheres that spin. And technically, they all spin simultaneously. But what happens is, depending on whether or not we're ill, our bodies are toxic, we've been pulling in negative energy, those centers may not spin at the same rate. Some may slow down, some can become blocked. I would say the first, second, and third chakra, which if you are watching this, looking at this slide here, the first chakra, as it says, is the root chakra, it's red. The second is sacral, which is orange, and the third is your solar plexus. those are lower level chakras, and they are akin to, say, lower level thinking. I don't have enough, I'm poor, I'm impoverished, I can't achieve, I don't have determination, and that sort of thing. So when you think that way and you are interacting in energy centers and around people who think the same way, you pick up that energy a lot of times.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may have a headache, and the headache could be because of poor eating. The headache could be that you're not getting enough sleep. But if you continue to ignore it, it gets worse. So the same thing with chakras. If you're not aware of how you're interacting, those chakras can be blocked, and for a number of other reasons also. But what we do is, for root chakra energy, root chakra is about grounding. It's about knowing your purpose, about feeling that you have a foundation that's solid to stand on. So if those are things that you have issues with, if you have money issues, those are the things that will block your root chakra, which means you don't feel grounded. You kind of feel like you're flying around everywhere. You don't feel like maybe you have purpose and that sort of thing. The sacral chakra is more about sexuality and creativity. Sometimes we are all creators, and we don't use that energy to create, whether it's that you're great at baking, you could be great at painting, you may be great at sewing, you might be a seamstress, a writer, a singer, whatever that creative moment that we were God given and you don't use, or it's blocked for some other reason, then that second sacral chakra, it will slowly start to become blocked. It doesn't spin clockwise and counterclockwise. And what happens is you'll feel it. Sometimes it can manifest as sometimes disease in that area, sometimes discomfort in that area. It could resonate as female issues in that area. And then the solar plexus is the same thing, wisdom and power. The solar plexus is like your core. That's the seat of everything. So when we're not, again, as I say, we're not steady, we don't feel like we have control of everything. We're in a COVID moment. We've been this way for 9 months now, and lots of people are feeling like they're not grounded, like they're not connected, that they no longer have control over the things that are taking place in their lives. So when someone comes to us and they say, I'm not feeling well, I don't feel grounded, or I'm having difficulties with my throat, or I'm having severe headaches, a lot of times we look to make sure that the chakras are aligned. And Reiki accomplishes that, but then there are other modalities that we use to help you make sure that this centers are spinning properly. There are affirmations that you can do to correct things like that. There are foods you can eat to correct things like that. Of course, the colors are there because colors are very powerful, and even wearing the color can help you set your counterclockwise motion into clockwise so that it spins perfectly.
So, I mean, just being a life coach and with the clients that I work with, this sounds like a perfect pairing, where someone that can be kind of working with you on a regular basis as far as the issues, and then you realigning some of those issues with their energy levels.
Exactly. And that's what we do. So Reiki, as well as crystal therapy, we work on the etheric body. So there are several different layers and bodies outside of your physical body. The etheric body is the exact identical of your physical body. So when we administer Reiki, when we are using crystals, when we're taking you through meditation, we're connecting with your higher self and your etheric body. So that's why we don't necessarily have to touch you in order for you to feel the energy. The energy of Reiki, the energy of Reiki comes in through your head, it moves through your heart, and then it moves out your hands.
So if someone was to come and see you, kind of give an idea of what could they expect from that experience?
Well, if it's your first time coming, my business partner is Donna Bell. She is our crystal healing expert. She has much more experience with crystals than I do, but we do work really well together. And what we do is we sit you down, we kind of have a mini consultation. We like to see if there are any things that you want to work on, or if there are things that we're intuiting. We work very much on an intuitive level as well. And once we've gotten through that, we get you on the table. I take you through some breathing techniques, kind of put you in a light meditation, and then you're out. What we do is Reiki is about giving the body an opportunity to rest so we can work with you on a spiritual level. So a lot of times, by the time you lie flat out on the table, which we use a massage table, you're out cold. We work for an hour, 15 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. And when you come out of it, you feel refreshed, like a new person. Some people feel like, I just laid down. Is it over already? I only thought it was here 10 minutes and it's been an hour and 15 minutes. And then there are other people that it takes a minute for them to come out of it. But there's a lot of work that can happen during meditation and doing a Reiki session, because we ask that your guides come in to help us. We both believe that we have angelic beings around us that also help us move through these types of modalities. So we employ every wonderful, loving energy that we can to come and assist us as we work on you.
Very good. Very good. So that kind of leads into where CBD might fit in. Exactly. And of course, and actually, I think I can advance this, that CBD is one of the components of the hemp or cannabis plant. It is what I consider the workhorse. It does the most work when you're looking at the different cannabinoids that help your body when you utilize them through hemp. I always consider CBD the cake and THC the icing, right? That the icing's important. Don't belittle it, right? But you came for the cake. At least I hope you did, right? So so people have found, and there's more and more work being done in this area, that using CBD or cannabis with Reiki can not only help relax the client. So obviously, it's not, if they're coming in tense, anxious, upset, that probably can interfere with that energy flow.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's part of, so I would say maybe the first thing Reiki does is help to relieve stress. Stress causes a myriad of issues, illnesses, disease, et cetera, in the body. If you have a stressful job and you never take time to release that stress builds up. It can turn into severe headaches. Stress can turn into severe heartburn or digestive issues. Stress can turn into insomnia. So there are lots of different things that can happen, things that you can control, but when they're out of control, then you have to look for a more intense line of therapy to help you come back to a place of balance. So using CBD as well as Reiki is kind of, I would say, a moment of, as you said, having the cake and the icing as well. It's a complete package. Everybody, some people like cake without the icing. Some people just like the icing. Some people like the cake. But to have them together is a different moment. And in my estimation, CBD coupled with Reiki gives you a fuller feeling of being refreshed and renewed.
Absolutely. And I could definitely see that. From what I understand, it can prevent, it helps the energies flow better, helps the energy as far as that, being able to transfer that energy better. It sounds like even as the Reiki master, from what you're describing, that it would even be beneficial for the Reiki master as well.
Exactly. So the thing that I think I maybe like most about Reiki is every time I give a treatment, I get a treatment.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's the perfect idea of the law of reciprocity and order. You give, that whole ebb and flow of give and receive. So whenever Donna and I are in a position where we're giving Reiki, we're receiving it.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful moment. Generally, as a Reiki master, you should do Reiki at least 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. So before you get out of bed, there are 14 hand positions. And when you become a master, you kind of, once you're initiated, you're kind of initiated to information coming to you from a different level. So becoming a master allows you to create other ways that you can infuse Reiki into your clients. So you also learn different ways to give yourself Reiki.
So that was a question for me. So you are able to hone into these energy levels on your own.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The other evening, I stubbed my toe, and the first thing I thought was, "Oh my God, I hope I don't have to go to emergency." And then I thought, sit down and breathe. and put your toe in your hand. Just sit and breathe. And
Right.
it was a big moment for me because, again, as I said earlier, I am not a pain person. But after I sat and I took my time and I did some deep breathing, I could feel the pain lessening and lessening. So I very rarely go to a doctor, or if I have a little issue, I take care of it. If I burn my hand, I take care of it. If I bump into something, I take care of it. I even have a little dog, and I usually take him with me when we're doing fairs, and he's my little Reiki dog. So I even give him Reiki. You know, he likes to be rubbed and that sort of thing. So Reiki is great because even if you're hugging someone, you can give them Reiki. Generally, you should not give Reiki without permission. That is the tenet of Reiki, one of the tenets. But just as a benevolent gesture of kindness and compassion, whenever I am interacting with someone and I am finding that we're hugging or embracing, I always give them Reiki, just a silent offering of love for myself.
Very good. Very good. So if someone was interested in becoming a patient, what type of condition? We talked about pain, right?
Correct.
And we talked about kind of just your energy levels. And I would love to do two parts of this because I think people will want to get further into those chakras.
Yeah.
So we're going to hold off on that for the moment.
Okay.
But what condition should someone consider if they're looking into doing Reiki?
So actually, I would say any condition that you're seeing a physician for and you're taking medication for, and it has taken years off of your life, whether you are a diabetic, whether you're a heart patient. As a matter of fact, most hospitals now have a Reiki core, and it is a volunteer Reiki core. You can ask for Reiki in a hospital. If you are in labor, you can request that someone come and give you Reiki while you're in labor. If you are having surgery and you want Reiki post-surgery to help with the healing, because that's one of the things Reiki does. Reiki can accelerate the healing process. So asking me that question is pretty much anything. You can come, some people come to us to just say, I just feel out of sorts. Right. They don't know what it is, but my friend said she had Reiki and it was wonderful, and I want to feel the same way. One of the other things that Donna and I do is we participate in psychic fairs or holistic fairs that take place around the city. And what we do is usually on a Saturday and Sunday, we are, say, hypothetically at a Holiday Inn, and we pitch our spiel. We have our tables, we have crystals. It's a new thing to people. People come in all the time that are getting on our table that never even heard of Reiki, but love it. We have a lot of clients that we have, I don't want to necessarily say accumulated, but people that we befriended over the years who had no clue what Reiki was until they actually happened upon the fair. Some people will come in and say, my friend told me to find you guys. I've been looking everywhere for you. I knew you'd be at one of these fairs. I have this lower back pain and I want you guys to help me get rid of it. And they get on the table. After an hour or so, they get up and they'll say, oh my God, I can't believe it. You guys are really good. You know, so not to toot our own horns, but I've really seen how effective Reiki can be and helping the body to relax. And sometimes that's part of it. Your illness is not that your illness isn't legitimate or authentic, but sometimes we hype ourselves up so much around the perception of how bad something can be that we need a moment of relaxation. So Reiki is kind of like massage. We don't necessarily have to touch you, but that energy penetrates your muscles and really kind of assuages anything that's going on in your body so that you feel relaxed. Sometimes it's just even that you get a deeper sleep, a deeper, more intense sleep can relieve stress. And in that, it helps your body to heal from whatever issue that you might be challenged with at the moment.
Absolutely. And I think if we're talking about physical healing, and we have to talk about mental healing, and you're in almost like a combination of that with spiritual healing.
Exactly.
When I look at my medical cannabis patients, when I look at my life coaching patients, this is that next level that I think, and the fact that we're focusing so much on empowerment, this is that next level, particularly just like you said, if you're feeling out of sort, you know things are lining up, but they're not lining up the way that you think it would be. then
Exactly.
this is definitely some place that I think you should go. And
Exactly.
dealing with that muscle tightness, CBD can relax the muscles. CBD can give you that calmness and give you that clarity,
Exactly.
so that if you're walking in and you're having some disruption within your soul, the CBD can be one of the tools, and
Exactly.
Reiki on top, and it sounds like it would really do phenomenal.
Exactly. I see it as a perfect combination. Reiki is about the mind, body, spirit connection. Reiki is not necessarily a religious moment, although there are many religions that practice Reiki. They may call it something else. I know definitely it's practiced in a lot of African cultures. It is not called Reiki, but it is the same concept of letting the divine healing energy move through you and to someone else, so to speak. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I think this is fascinating.
Yeah.
So let me move on. So I want to kind of get people interested in this. I'm fascinated by this, and I think there's so much potential. I would love to do a part 2 when we start getting into the other chakras. But in the meantime, I want people to know where they can find us, right? And so
Absolutely.
For Green Harvest Health, where we do medical cannabis cards and we have our own line of CBD products, you can find us right here on Facebook, as well as you can find us on our CBD medicinals Facebook site as well as Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff out there. But you can see the phone numbers listed here, as well as we have 3 offices now. We have our main office in Pickerington, Ohio, outside of Columbus, one on the west side of Columbus, in the Embody Health and Wellness Center, and in Cleveland, which is closer to you, obviously, Shai, over, we work with the Relaxation Place, where we combine a lot of holistic practices.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we do, which I had mentioned before, we have something called the Life Essentials Program. And so basically, as a family doctor, we do an assessment on a patient. I bring in the life coaching piece, and we assign a number of holistic modalities, schedule that for the patient, and all of us as practitioners work together in a 6-month program to get that patient back on track. So again, it's using all these modalities at the same time. What people tend to do is, I'll do a little bit of this for a while, I'll do a little bit of that, and it's never quite coming together. This is a full program with Zoom conferences where we all talk as practitioners, we bring the patient in, and we make sure that you stay on point to meet your goals.
Absolutely.
So we'd love for you to be a part of that, and that's called Life Essentials, and we do that at the Cleveland office.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's the same concept as we talk about, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
Well, it takes a village, period, to do anything.
And
sometimes it's more beneficial to have various opinions about things that are going on. And that way you don't have a perception about what's happening. You really have some valid information to make a more informed decision about the treatment that you want for yourself, as opposed to having one doctor who has one train of thought and is going to keep you on pills for the rest of your life. And that's no good. At least in my estimation, that's not a healthy thing.
And then my approach, I was at the Cleveland Clinic for 20 years. I always had this feeling that I might be the only person that looked you in the eye today. And so I had this desire to connect and to listen in a different way. And I'm sure you can imagine that didn't always go over that well.
Absolutely.
With a quick 15-minute schedule. And so this gives an opportunity to still employ my traditional, medicine background, but then I help people in a new way. And I love working with holistic practitioners because they also see things in a new way.
Absolutely.
And that combination, I think, can make a huge difference for patients that are having difficulties. So of course, we have our own line of CBD products. A lot of massage therapists use our products to relax the muscles, to get things to decrease the pain, particularly people that might have trigger points. We have our pain cream, which can be very helpful for decreasing some of those trigger points, as well as we have a body butter, which is really nourishing for the skin. When you're talking about using CBD with Reiki, we recommend topicals, but we also recommend the oral tinctures as well. Our full spectrum CBD product is a great option to kind of start that session and get that clarity and calm your body down. And of course, we
Absolutely.
have our gummies as well that can also, obviously the gummies take a little bit longer to kick in and start working. The tincture is going to work a little bit quicker, but we've had great success with patients, and we have patients that use our CBD as part of their Reiki regimen. So we encourage you to take a look at it. You can go to our website at greenharvest.health. And if you're watching this today, you can use the code GREEN35 and get a 35% discount until the end of September.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And then Shai, tell us a little bit about where people can find you.
So previously, One Mind Reiki actually practiced at River's Edge, which is a spiritual retreat center off of Rocky River Drive in the Mother House for the Sisters of St. Joseph. Because of the COVID moment, that center is totally closed down. Our Angelic Presence, which was Garrettsville, Ohio, also closed down because of the COVID moment, which led Donna and I to be a little bit more creative. And what we do is we offer remote Reiki now. So we can do remote healing sessions, believe it or not, and they are extremely successful. And what we do is we can do Zoom sessions, but what we generally do is we call the client on the phone. We do a conference call. We take them through the meditation, and I work on them as Donna works on them. And it's the same session that you would get if you were actually in our office. But you can always connect with us at our website, which is www.onemindreiki.com. You can email us anytime, onemindreiki@gmail.com. And our phone numbers are listed below. The only thing I'd like to say additional is we do make house calls. We sort of are a mobile Reiki unit. We try to go where we're needed. We're not traditional Reiki practitioners in the sense that we have one office and there's one way of doing things. Donna and I are both intuitive. So when we work, we are listening, not just to spirit, but we're listening to your body. We listen to you as well to see what it is that we can do to help facilitate a better moment for you. Reiki is maybe now one of the #1 energy modalities globally. So it's not like a taboo type of a moment now anymore. It used to be a time where you said Reiki, people kind of looked at you with a side eye. But Reiki is a very powerful, energetic tool. I would love to have anyone give us a call, come and try it out. And again, you can reach us at either of the numbers or the website that's listed here on the screen.
Absolutely. And I would love for you to kind of see us over in our Cleveland office and maybe have an opportunity to take one of the spaces.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you also are offering a deal today.
Yes, I am. So generally our sessions are $150. What we're doing is if you schedule a session with us by the end of September, it's $100. And what happens is you usually get, I'd say maybe a 20-minute consultation, 10 minutes on the front, 10 minutes on the back. We are very committed to making sure that the client is comfortable and satisfied from very beginning to very end. But being honest, I don't know that I've ever had anyone say, this sucks, or this was not for me, or I don't believe it, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You get something out of Reiki no matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what, even if you feel like, oh, wow, this didn't happen. And we've had people say, well, I kind of feel the same. But then 2 weeks later, they'll call and say, oh my God, guess what happened? Or I couldn't sleep. And now I've been sleeping like through the night for the last 2 weeks. Oh my God, this stuff really works. So the other thing about Reiki that's unique, and I'm not going to take a lot of time, if you come to us and you said, oh, I'm having lower back problems, but once we start giving you Reiki, you may be having problems in other areas of your body. There may be energy blockages in your legs or in your feet or maybe your hands. Reiki goes to where it's needed. I can direct it to a certain place, but it's also going to have its own innate intelligence where it will look for other places in your body that need to be healed, where the stress needs to be released, et cetera, et cetera. So no matter when you come and what you come for, you get a full head to toe relaxation and a release moment.
So when you say that, like your typical patient, right?
Mhm.
How many sessions I guess like with massage, you can go forever or you can go for one.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend maybe? Maybe that's the,
So if you're just coming out of curiosity, I say come one time, um, and have a full session. The
Mhm.
whole shebang, the consultation. That way you can see how we move, how we interact with you, the whole 9 yards. Then you know if you like it or not. If someone is, say, having a serious problem, like maybe you have arthritis in your knee. Now,
Mhm.
I'm not saying that we can cure the arthritis, but I know that by coming for several sessions consistently,
Mhm.
that we can help reduce that inflammation, help you to have more mobility in that knee. Part of the whole concept of Reiki, again, as I said, self empowerment. A lot of times things are not moving clearly in our body because in our mental body, we have things going on.
Mhm.
So, coming to a Reiki session, you're kind of coming and you're getting sort of like you're laying on a couch and you're talking to two psychologists, possibly, or two psychiatrists, however you want to view it. But we try to help you de stress mentally so
Yeah,
that the stress that's manifesting in your body is released as well. So it's
absolutely.
kind of a twofold moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a whole body experience
Whole
basically.
body experience,
Oh,
always whole body experience. Exactly.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And let's see here. So keeping in mind for the people that are interested in the Green Harvest Health CBD, we
Okay.
have independent sales consultants that purchase a package. We give them educational materials and they're able to sell it and on their own. Typically, they're filling orders that our main office ships out, but they have a
Okay.
set of samples and what have you so that they can really educate people about the benefits of CBD. We definitely have retailers that are affiliate partners. We always appreciate brand ambassadors or influencers that speak well of our products and get our information out, and then other direct sales opportunities as well. And so if you're interested in getting into the CBD industry, definitely reach out because our retailers tend to do very well with our sales, and we would like for you to be a part of the team.
Sounds wonderful. Wonderful.
So, Shai, tell me what you have something coming up pretty soon. Tell me about
So
that.
this coming Sunday, there's a psychic fair at the Holiday Inn in Akron,
Mhm.
on West Fair Lawn. And
Mhm.
what happens is, I want to say that it's a psychic fair. So you come in if you want to see a psychic or tarot card reader. You sign
Mhm.
up for that. There's a cost for that. And then there is a room where there are other vendors. We are generally the only bodywork vendor there, so you can't miss us. We'll
Mhm.
have our sign up, we'll have our table up, and just come by and try us out. Generally, at a fair, we'll do a half-hour session for $40 and
Wow.
a 45-minute session for $60.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the other thing is we don't turn anyone away. So if you come and you have $20 and you want to get on the table, then that's wonderful. We put you on the table, we give you a session, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised, especially if you've never had Reiki before.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
And then as far as our office, we are restarting the Botanical Depot talk. So previously every month I did an educational talk at the Columbus Botanical Depot. And then COVID happened. So now they now have a second off store in Cincinnati. So we're going to alternate, but I'm going to be live at the event. So it'll be on Zoom for people that don't want to leave their homes, but people
Okay.
that want to come out and hear a talk. This time it will be about actually helping with pain and how cannabis can help. You can be on site as well as people can be on Zoom watching the same talk. And we give discounts if people are looking for medical cannabis cards. If you come into the event, as well as just want kind of a more personal consultation. So that will be on September 16th. And we have a number of events coming up. So please look on our Facebook site to see what we're doing, as well as our website to see what we're doing next.
Exactly.
Oop, I think, did I miss one? I don't know. No, I'm not, but I'm not crazy about the spinning thing. All right, so let's see if we have any questions. It's not always easy to see what is going on while you're on here, but let's see if I can
Exactly.
figure it out. And let's see if there are any questions here. Let's see. So I'll tell you, like, I think you hear my voice here, but we definitely have some comments that
Perfect.
Mary was stating that she recommends Reiki a ton to people. It is so healing and she loves it. Gabrielle worked in Vegas with some Reiki practitioners and found it so interesting and fascinating stuff. Mary again says that Reiki and massage together with cannabis, best time ever, which
Best time ever.
absolutely I can, but as far as opening up those chakras and
Exactly.
getting to a deeper level, I can only imagine that
Exactly.
definitely makes a difference.
That sounds like a true spiritual experience.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
Because if you're kind of just opening up your mind, now, you know, we get in our own way, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so we have Leah who said she would love to chat about doing a weekend retreat training.
Oh,
as well
wonderful.
as some energy healing in my home. So we'll definitely keep you in contact with her.
Okay.
We've got some thumbs up and some other people that are watching on here.
Wonderful.
So absolutely, absolutely. So Shai, why did it take this long for me to talk to you?
Because I believe in divine timing. It had to be the right moment. And we have been trying to get together for about 2 years now.
Absolutely.
But this is, I believe, the moment that we're in, this COVID moment. I call it the Simon Says moment, because whatever they say, people are not thinking. And what's happening is it's disempowering us. And this is a very critical time in on our global system for lots of things to change. And what I would love to see happen is that we learn to take better care of ourselves, our mental self, our spiritual self, and our physical self, because that then empowers you to make wiser choices and decisions about all other things. So if you're in poor health and you can't think straight, then you make poor decisions, so to speak. So
absolutely, absolutely. And I think from this discussion today, if people weren't open before, I truly believe that they're open now.
I hope so. I hope so.
Absolutely. And I would love to have a bigger conversation about the rest of those chakras and
whenever you like to do that, we're open. And maybe next time my business partner can join us. She is she's fascinating when it comes to the crystal moment and really talking through this moment. And it's just really interesting to realize that, you know, these are things that you can do on your own, you know, taking the training, even take training Reiki 1 to learn the self-care and to learn about crystals and what crystals can do for you in combination with Reiki and CBD, and massage. You have your own personal little aromatherapy apothecary there. And you don't really have to do a lot outside of that. You have everything you need to help you make it to the next day.
Well, if people want to meet up, and hopefully you can be there as well, on Friday the 18th, we're having an event called Terpenes and Tannins. We'll talk about the fine-tuning aspects of CBD and the essential oils of the cannabis plant, as well as essential oils. And so, and like I said, we're bringing together all these different modalities so people can come to this event and you can leave with a CBD roll-on that will have essential oils that mimic some of the cannabis strains. So if you're looking for something that helps with sleep or helps with energy, we'll make something that's custom for you at that event. And that's going to be on the 18th. So look for that on our sites as well. But Shai, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Absolutely. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, everyone be well.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
And give me 1 second here. Stop share. And good night.